Welcome to Nightmare Chronicles, a place where every shadow hides a secret, every silence screams a warning, and every story drags you deeper into the dark. Turn down the lights, put on your headphones, and let the nightmare begin. Everyone in Briar County knew not to take the last bus. It wasn't written anywhere, no signs, no official warnings, just one of those rules people followed without remembering who taught it to them. If you missed the 9:40 p.m. route, you waited until morning. Ethan Crowe didn't know that. He had moved to Briar County for work, temporary contract, 3 months, and rented a room above a closed barber shop near the old depot. The town was quiet in a way that felt unfinished, like someone had turned the volume down but forgotten to turn it back up. On his third night, Ethan stayed late at the office. By the time he reached the depot, the digital board glowed red. Route 11, Red Willow. Departing 11:58 p.m. The platform was empty. The air smelled like rust and wet leaves. A single streetlight flickered, buzzing faintly. Ethan checked his phone. No signal. Figures, he muttered. The bus arrived without sound. No engine roar. No hiss of brakes. It simply appeared at the curb, lights already on, door folding open with a tired sigh. The bus looked old, older than it should have been. Paint faded to a dull gray. Windows cloudy with grime. The number 11 was scratched into the side, not painted. The driver didn't look at him. He was thin, hunched, wearing a uniform that looked decades out of date. His cap sat low, shadowing his eyes. One hand gripped the steering wheel. The other rested unnaturally still on his knee. Ethan hesitated. "You going to Red Willow?" he asked. The driver nodded once. Ethan stepped on. The door closed behind him with a final, metallic thud that echoed longer than it should have. Inside, the bus was mostly empty. A woman sat near the back, staring straight ahead. Her hair was damp, clinging to her face. A man too rose up, rocked gently, whispering something Ethan couldn't hear. Farther back, a teenager sat slouched, head bowed, hoodie pulled tight. Ethan chose a seat near the middle. The bus began to move. As the depot lights faded behind them, the street outside grew darker. Too dark. No storefronts. No houses. Just trees, crowding close to the road. Ethan frowned. "This doesn't look like the Red Willow route," he said, leaning forward. The driver didn't respond. The woman in the back turned her head slowly. Her eyes were bloodshot. "You shouldn't talk to him," she whispered. Ethan stiffened. "Why not?" Her lips trembled. "He doesn't answer." The road stretched endlessly ahead, illuminated only by the bus's dim headlights. No street signs. No intersections. The man who had been whispering suddenly stopped. Silence fell, thick, oppressive. Then he spoke, louder now. "I didn't mean to fall asleep." Ethan turned. "What?" The man looked at him, eyes glassy. "I was driving." I blinked. "Just for a second." The teenager lifted his head. "I was texting," he said quietly. "My mom told me not to." The woman hugged herself. "I slipped on the stairs. Hit my head." Ethan's stomach tightened. "What are you talking about?" he asked. No one answered. The bus swerved. Ethan grabbed the seat in front of him as the vehicle lurched onto a narrower road. The trees closed in, branches scraping against the windows like fingernails. The lights inside the bus flickered. For a moment, in the reflection of the glass, Ethan saw something behind them. A shape on the road, long and twisted, dragging itself forward. He blinked. It was gone. "How many stops until Red Willow?" Ethan asked, forcing calm into his voice. The driver finally spoke. "One," he said. His voice sounded like gravel sliding over bone. The bus slowed. Ahead, a sign emerged from the darkness. "Red Willow, 1 mile." Relief washed through Ethan, but the passengers began to panic. "No," the woman whispered. "Not yet." The man stood up, clutching the poles. "Please, I can't get off." Again, the teenager shook his head violently. "I didn't mean it. I swear." Ethan's pulse raced. "Get off again." The bus stopped. The door opened. Outside was not a town. It was a clearing. A wide, empty stretch of land under a black sky. No buildings. No lights. Just dirt, scattered debris, and something else, something large, half buried in the ground. A wreck. A crushed car, twisted metal glinting faintly. A broken staircase railing. A smashed motorcycle. Pieces of accidents. The woman screamed. "No, I already got off here." The driver turned his head, slowly, deliberately. "This is your stop," he said. The woman bolted for the door, sobbing. As she crossed the threshold, her body flickered, just for a second, and then she was gone. Not stepped off. Gone. The man followed, crying out. Then the teenager. Each vanished the same way. Ethan was alone. The door remained open. The driver looked at him. "Red Willow," he said. Ethan backed away. "No, I'm not supposed to be here." The driver's mouth stretched into a thin, unnatural smile. "Everyone says that." The bus lurched forward again, door slamming shut. The clearing disappeared behind them. Ethan's chest heaved. "What is this place?" The driver didn't answer. The road narrowed, winding downward. The air grew colder. Frost crept along the edges of the windows. Then Ethan noticed something horrifying. Scratched into the seat in front of him were names. Hundreds of them, some crossed out, some not. At the bottom, freshly carved. Ethan Crowe. His heart slammed against his ribs. "No," he whispered. The bus slowed again. Another sign emerged. "Red Willow, final stop." Lights appeared ahead. A town. But it was wrong. Buildings stood crooked, windows dark. Figures moved in the streets, their motions stiff and jerky, like puppets with tangled strings. The bus stopped. The door opened. The driver turned. End of the line. Ethan ran. He didn't think, just bolted down the aisle, shoving past empty seats. He slammed into the door and tumbled out onto the pavement. The bus pulled away immediately. Ethan lay gasping, heart pounding, then forced himself up. The town was silent. A street sign read Main Street, letters cracked and faded. A woman stood across the street, staring at him. Her face was familiar. It was the woman from the bus. But she looked wrong. Her eyes were empty, skin gray. "You're not dead yet," she said flatly. "What?" Ethan whispered. "You still have time." A sound echoed behind him. Engines. Sirens. Headlights. Ethan turned. A car barreled down the street, out of control. Time slowed. He understood. This was the moment. He dove. Pain exploded as he hit the ground. Darkness swallowed him whole. Ethan woke in a hospital bed. Machines beeped softly. A nurse noticed his eyes flutter open and rushed over. "You're lucky," she said. "Hit by a car, but no major injuries." Ethan swallowed. "The bus." She frowned. "What bus?" He looked at the clock. 9:39 p.m. That night, Ethan took a taxi home. He never stayed late again. Years passed. He moved away. But sometimes, late at night, he dreams of a bus pulling into an empty depot. Route 11. And a driver who still remembers his name. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this chilling story, don't forget to subscribe for more. Hit the like button to show your support, and click the bell so you never miss a spine-tingling update. Stay curious, and stay safe.